so we can get copyright claims. Just let the whole song play.
Hey, man, look, man. Can I get some?
What's good, everybody? Hey, welcome back to another episode of Talking That Talk official podcast. I go by the name of King Exodus. Go ahead, bro.
The suit, yeah, you said the whole thing. My fault. Yeah, what's going on? Well, it's your boy Juice, aka No One There, brother, aka Rising Pharaoh, aka Mr. Books, and what a great day. Great night. Great night.
So what we talking about, man? What we doing, man?
What we doing today? All right, y'all. So tonight's subject is: are grudges bad, or the power of grudges? Right. For the longest time, we always heard grudges are bad things. Don't keep everything in. You should release things that hold you back. What if your grudge doesn't hold you back? Right? So, interesting thing. Sometimes having a grudge has always been beneficial to some people to be successful. One of the best competitors I know, Lamborghini and Ferrari. I don't know if some of y'all know the story between Lamborghini and Ferrari, but I believe the brother, can't remember his name off tops, but basically, he went and seen Ferrari, right? He was looking at it, he's like, hey, you can do some better, modules with the car. They're like, what, why would we listen to you? Dude was actually a farmer at this time. So, and better yet, they was just letting him know, you're too poor to actually afford this car, right? He took all that momentum, went to work, and built the Lamborghini. So his competitor basically pissed him off so much that he wanted to go work for himself and build the competition against him, right? In fact, it was so competitive at the point, right? Every time one would build first, they were racing cars, right? Then they went to the streets. Every time one of them created something, they created the counterpart to it. So it was nothing but competition between the two as they was progressing through life. That's what I say, a grudge is necessarily bad if your grudge pushes you to be great.
Okay. I agree with that part. No reason to really key in on that too much. People do use grudges as a basis of competition. Not necessarily competition with somebody else or another product, but competition within themselves. Grudges could most definitely push people to past limitations, right? It could be something simple as somebody telling you you can't do something or that's impossible. Mm-hmm. You can hold a grudge against not the actual person, but the statement or the energy that they brought to you. Mm-hmm. So that can, help you excel in life. So it's definitely pros to that. And then some people, I'm gonna just be honest, some people fucking deserve grudges held against them. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't deserve forgiveness. Mm-hmm. Everybody don't deserve opportunities to be a part of your personal space of your life. Mm-hmm. Once somebody fucks that up completely, you gotta value yourself and your energy first. Mm-hmm. You feel me? A lot of people think loyalty, it increases your tolerance, but it don't mean that your tolerance is unlimited. Like, you know what I'm saying? The world don't owe you shit, you don't owe nobody else shit. Correct. If people seek forgiveness, they have to go through a process of proving themselves worthy of that. You don't owe anybody that shit because of loyalty or whatever else. So some people deserve grudges. Sometimes you have to get on other people's level. You know what I'm saying? It may be a little bit beneath you or whatever, but sometimes petty pays off. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? So you got to address some people on their level. And then you gotta know when to leave that level and go back to your normal self. But some negative points of holding grudges to me would be some people just take shit too far. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not gonna cut a person off completely, there's really no reason to hold a grudge against that person. You feel me? You may have a distance, but I think a grudge can just corrupt that bond and relationship, and it corrupts you individually as well. Like I say, you taking shit too far. So, what you got on the negatives of holding grudges?
I mean, negative part, I would just say it consumes you, right? You'll have mental talks to yourself about actions you want to take for so long that you'll never do, but you'll let it consume you. right? Anytime you see this individual or be in this particular area, something a different emotion will be bond to you that you feel all the time. And you know, when it happens, it can eat you up in different ways, not even just mentally, physically, spiritually, economically too. Like people think like grudges are only things that are dealing with individuals. That same grudge could still be pointed different ways, right? Let's say if I see an individual, right, I got a grudge against, that same energy is going to stay with me regardless if I'm no longer around that individual, right? Right. So you ever went through a situation, you was pissed off, and you when you left it, you thought the energy was gone, but it's still there, and now you're yelling at the next person because you still got the energy carried on with you. That's one of the negative effects about keeping grudges when you don't know how to release feelings. That's what it's like, feelings come and go. So when it's negative, you got to be able to know how to deal with it. Don't necessarily carry it on with you. Be able to release it. You know, one of the things I was going to ask you real quick is, do you believe everybody is forgiven? Now, what I mean by that is they always say forgive and forget. I honestly think people just pitch that out, but you're not going to ever really forgive and forget. I think it's just a way of saying, hey, it's underwater, but just know I know how to get in the water too. That's how I look at it. Like, it's interesting when people say that to me.
That's one of them things that sound good, but it's not often practiced.
Yeah, it's not.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people try to incorporate like religion and God into forgiveness, right?
Right.
I find it ironic because what did God do when he got jealous and he got mad? He
sent plagues. He
burned shit down.
Killed.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It really just depends on the individual, but some things just can't be forgiven. Some things you just can't move past.
Right.
I do believe that sometimes the older somebody gets, the more they can analyze situations, they may find it possible to move forward eventually. Who knows? Mm-hmm. Some people be like, hey, if it's fuck you now, it's fuck you for life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That does exist.
It does exist. We know several people. Yeah. We know several people built like that. It's for life.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, shouts out to people that can, you know, get over their grudges maturely.
Correct.
Like I say, people play devil's advocate. Mm-hmm. 1 minute, people promote peace and prosperity, and the next minute, people call you a bitch or you weak because you came to a particular meeting ground with a person or compromises on the table. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with compromising if the maturity is there and the accountability. I think that's why a lot of people don't get forgiven because they lack accountability. Correct.
So I'm going to pick it back off what he just said. We had a scenario that Drake mentioned in his songs. He said, what's the good of apologizing or saying I'm sorry, but we're just going to really just go back at it. That's another thing, right? That's why I say, you know, forgive and forget. It's I think it's like a morally thing, bro. Like, let's just say it's the correct way to do it, but I feel like it's always going to be there. And no matter how you sweep it under the rug, you still got to, you're going to step over that rug one day, right? That's just like a particular family member had sex with somebody that you're dating, and that person's still around. Like, as much as you want to like feel like, hey, well, they said they're sorry and let's move forward, it's like walking on eggshells.
They gonna fuck her again.
Yeah, it was her. That ass. Smacking back till it's forgiven up.
Nah, you gotta know when certain people cross certain lines, man. It's just not healthy no more. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes in a lot of situations, a lot of great people got taken down by the people that was closest to them.
Right.
And a lot of those people showed signs of disloyalty, but since they were so loyal, they looked past the signs and they forgave. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's pros and cons to it. Like I say, and some people will work and go through a process to earn forgiveness, only to turn around and have leverage to fuck up again. So you got to pay attention to people's actions. You feel me? Like, I wouldn't say never label. Everybody in your life is not meant to be long term.
Yeah.
Some people just really serve a purpose at a particular moment. It could be, you know what I'm saying, probably to teach you a lesson, spark your brain at a particular moment, but at some points it's okay to outgrow people. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to keep, you know what I'm saying, all the same people around you, your day ones. That mentality got plenty of people in the grave thinking everybody, they day ones is still applicable to where they at right now in life. So yeah, that's what I got.
Okay, that's what's up.
We got to hit some like relationship scenarios.
Relationship scenarios. I mean,
people, family. You know, like you brought up the family member that you know.
A family member. I mean, shoot. You look at. I'll say this: are grudges also a form of jealousy, or could that be two different things?
They can connect, but I wouldn't necessarily say they always connect. Like I say, some people can earn the right to have a grudge held against them. But if you connect in a grudge and jealousy, like you out of control at that point. you ready to kill someone.
Yeah, you ready to
you ready to eliminate.
Julius and Caesar? Shit.
But yeah,
Caesar, Julius.
It could be part of it. Yeah, it could be part of it. And then some people have these crazy relationships like Thor and fucking Loki. Like they battle all the time, you know what I'm saying? But
that's family.
Neither one can never completely finish the job. You know what I'm saying? You look at like even in Power with like Ghost and Tommy, they had grudges against each other. They acted on them, but neither one could just really just seal the deal, kill the other. You know what I'm saying? So some people really just go through chaotic phases, man, where they really go back and forth, and sometimes they settle that shit later. You know what I'm saying? I would say like the love you have for an individual can work for you or against you in that grudge process. You can love somebody so much, you could be 10 times more hurt by shit that they do. You can become a little bit more sensitive. And you can love someone so much that you quick to forgive too easily. So it's pro and con too.
Right. Man, watch out, don't mess with the mafia boys.
Alright.
You broke my heart.
Let's go to family members, man. Let's say a family member uses you financially, put burdens on you, etc., personal problems. Every time they call, you know what I'm saying, you pick up the phone, you help them once or twice.
Okay.
How many times do they have to burn you for you to put that grudge there to say, hey, you know what, fuck you?
I think I honestly don't think there's a certain time limit. People like to say it's only one time, but sometimes even that one time turns to 2 times, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of different, right? Whether it's family or friends, I still believe in ostracizing people, right? At the end of the day, like, keep your distance, I keep my distance, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like that's the best way to deal with situations, because once that line's been crossed, I'm already violent in my mind if we see each other, right? That's why when it comes to beefing and when it comes to politicking, streetwise, gang-wise, there's always a neutral ground. As long as we there, nothing's gonna happen, right? Sometimes that's your grandma's house. Sometimes your grandpa's house. It's a family member's house. Like when you see each other, it's peace. Because we're not going to do anything for the family. But outside of there, that's a whole different story. And I think a lot of people play the safe zone by always trying to use that spot to neutralize the situation, right? Use the other family members like, hey, yeah, they're not talking to me. But then they tell the family members everything that happened. And I don't like that. Like, if then family members get involved, like, hey, can you just forgive so-and-so? Hey, could you know, hey, Jim been trying to get to talk to you. Like, what's going on with that? Hey, fuck Jim. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of the most chaotic things that can happen. Family members can use each other, but go to that common ground where everybody meets, 4th of July, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and they'll try to leverage other family members for you to forgive them for the actions they were partaking in, but they'll never tell the whole thing. And you being yourself, sometimes you just keep it to yourself and just move with a chip on your shoulder. But they felt the need to get everybody involved. Now it becomes bothersome, right? I had something like that happen within my family. I had to tell people, I was like, look, y'all need to stop trying to tell this person to keep saying or forgive the person what happened. That's not gonna happen. And every time y'all doing that, y'all are adding actual more fire to it. Because you keep bringing this person up around, and I keep saying, leave them alone, but y'all keep doing it. So that's just my take on that.
And trailing right off of that, with that family shit, you know what I'm saying? Just because you allow family members to take advantage of you, don't mean you can preach that gospel to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to help you get taken advantage of. Now I'm getting taken advantage of. That's the way oppression works. It works in chains. You feel me? If somebody got to help you with your shit, consistently, then they gonna fall short on something, and somebody got to help that person, and the cycle continues. So the onus of the main point is take care of your own shit, family or not. Nobody owe you shit. You know what I'm saying? Some people try to play on sympathy, like, oh, so you just gonna watch me suffer now?
I got my goddamn mic, man. Like, yo,
motherfucker, I didn't put you in that boat to begin with. How the fuck did you get in that boat? You didn't call me when you was thinking about making that fucked up decision. No. You didn't call me after you made the fucked up decision. You called me now. You know what I'm saying?
But we family.
When shit's happening.
And that's always the pitch to
you want me to love you, but you ain't loving me. Nah, fuck that. So, another point where people hold grudges, we brought up, was like relationships. I like how you said that. If you can't transmutate the negative energy from your past relationship, that shit gonna carry off into other shit.
Yeah.
Like, parents sometimes hold grudges against the other co-parents so much that they take the shit out on the kid. You know what I'm saying? Mothers can be like, look, you know what I'm saying, you look like your dad. The dads could be like, you act like your mama. You know what I'm saying? So now you beefing with your kid, you know what I'm saying, over a fucking grudge that you never transmutated that energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be real with yourself. If you are gonna hold a grudge against somebody, you gotta, even if you don't want to encounter that grudge with the next person, you gotta at least encounter it within yourself and pay attention to how you responded to it. Like we're saying, it can over consume you. Mm-hmm. So it can have you hating your child. It could have you hating your coworkers for no reason. You take home energy to the job because you know your wife run you at home, and now you're gonna go to work and be a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like this kind of shit happens. You know what I'm saying? So I would go back to that motto of leave your problems at your door or something, your front door, or some shit like that. Your problems stay at home. Don't bring them grudges to me.
Yeah, I remember grudges could also be triggers at the same time. For instance, I knew a man that caught his wife cheating, and basically when she left the house, she had a certain.
She was with a mailman?
No, she was. She had a certain layer of clothes, right? It was a little revealing. Like you ever seen like how basically like a dress or one of them shirts, and then one of them is revealing with the skin.
Okay.
It's basically like clear, like like fish and things. So
alright.
Anytime he dated a woman and she wore one of those, it triggered him like, yo, put that shit off right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? He never got past it. Like, and that's how deep like grudges can go between individuals. It's like I said, it's not always a person. It could be a thing. It could be a place. It could be activities that took place. You got to remember, like I said, some of the best players, like I said, I never looked at grudges as a bad thing if they learn how to transmutate that energy into something else, right? If a person told like yeah, you ain't gonna be shit, like, and the person like, oh, I ain't gonna be shit, and took it to his last dying breath and started preparing that person countless. But like Michael Jordan had a grudge. Remember he got cut from the basketball team. To this very day, he said, man, I should have been cut. He took that like he didn't make the NBA. Like he was still like, man, I should have been cut.
What he said during that whole documentary, and I took that personally.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That was a grudge he held on to become great. Like he was not worried about nobody else. He was just like, man, that motherfucker cut me, man. That's the
going back to basketball. Kobe said the same shit about him and Shaq. He like when Shaq won without him, he said that shit added a new anger and fuel to him. So he say immediately after Shaq won his championship, he started training that night.
Yeah,
that fucking night.
People don't understand like grudges are powerful and it can build you if. That's what I said. Like this subject gonna hit people. Like, damn, I never thought of it like that because they always tell you the negative things, right? That's why being an optimistic person like me, I always look at things both sides. You know, I'm not pessimistic. I'm optimistic. You know what they say? Glass half full. Half full. It's a lot of things people overlook at the same time. Like I said, if a grudge consumes you, that's different. But if it embedders you to be something bigger, then let that energy be a production of your life. So you can it's all like this, right? If the grudge is on a level, like this is another thing, right? You can't let some of the grudges in you stop you from growing, right? So just like I said, hey, you never gonna be shit. Some people actually will take that and let it consume them, right? And hold it in like, damn, I'm never gonna be shit. and hang on to it like it's they last dying breath, while it's just eating them up, where you can just talk about situations with other people and they teach you how to get through it. Like, it's amazing to me when I was talking to a lady not too long ago. I was like, "Have you ever thought about therapy?" Nope. I don't need nobody to talk about my problems. I was like, "So who do you talk to about your problems?" I was like, that's why it's amazing when people feel like they can be their own therapist. That's fucking stupid. But what, you gonna sit on both sides of the table in different clothes? So what's going on with you today? Oh, I don't know. You know, I'm feeling bad. Well, what happened this weekend? Well, what happened this weekend? You know what I'm saying?
They really gonna need one because they gonna lock their ass up. Somebody said,
yeah, but that's
straight jacket up.
Straight jacket. But nah, bro, like, that's really some crazy things when I think about it, bro. It's like people will think they can become their own therapist with grudges they have, or they'll read something in articles and see different lectures or YouTube, be like, okay, this was going on with me. They said, do this, do that, and I'll get through it. All right, go ahead.
All right.
Your own teacher, and you're your own student and your own teacher, your own master shit.
Alright, so two things I want to point out is people can hold grudges against things, concepts, right?
Right.
Some people have grudges against success. You know what I'm saying? Like, you using your personal failure as a momentum to carry a grudge towards success so much that you will hate the person in front of you that got some shit that you want, or some shit that you didn't put in the work to receive. So now that creates that hating energy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you're entitled to something that somebody else worked for.
Uh-huh.
So that's why we make up these, stories and shit to where we like, if somebody is on their TV screen, they had to compromise at some point, or they had to sell out, or if you see somebody doing better than you, then, you know what I'm saying, maybe they didn't get it legally. You know what I'm saying? It gotta be illegal or some shit like that. Or we be like, let's see how long he can keep it. Like, what the fuck?
Shit rented, nigga. Like, yeah. I give it about a couple months. It's rented. Yeah.
Right. And then you got some people that have grudges against failure. You feel me? Mm-hmm. One person can have a grudge against success. One person can have a grudge against failure. Now, the grudge against failure can keep them complacent with being the failure. Right. Some people, like we were saying, can use that same grudge and become 10 times better. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't hate on the next person. And, a lot of people will pocket count you. Count your pockets because they have a grudge with success that bad.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They start telling you what you can afford to do with your money. You know what I'm saying? Because they lack the money themselves. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of times people say, I would say, if anything, have a grudge against poverty. You feel me? Because poverty is one thing that can either destroy a person or motivate them never to go back to poverty.
There you go.
You hear rappers saying shit like, you know what I'm saying? They go back to the most traumatic times in their life, and that's what get them the fuel to do another song, get into another, you know what I'm saying, make more money because they constantly keep that fear of that grudge against poverty so tough. And then you have people like LeBron James that give back.
Give back.
At the same time.
Rebuild their communities.
I'm guessing that becomes, that's out of that same grudge of poverty. So, yeah.
So they don't want the youth to experience what they experience, right? That's why the crazy part when it comes to the grudges of poverty, some people want to reinvest into the communities they lived in, or even the projects they live in, and some of them will be thankful when they're actually torn down so nobody else can experience it. So I always think that's powerful when it comes to the projects as well. You have individuals, how can you say it, when it comes to these grudges, man? It's, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to look for the word, man. It's, like I said, it's powerful, like how some of these things that are taught to us that we always think is negative. You got to be able to evaluate everything from both sides and both spectrums, right? So, like I said, okay, this is one of the biggest grudges that's going on right now. People hate rich people, and then people don't like poor people. Mm-hmm. So, like, people who are rich, they be like, oh, them niggas got all the motherfucking money. Tax these niggas. You know what I'm saying?
And they grind.
And they grind. But those same rich people employ the poor people so they can have something established.
Right.
So then you have people that are up like, man, these motherfuckers don't want to work for shit. And then we got to our situation up to the top because we put in the work. We was willing to go into debt. Mm-hmm. And y'all don't like us for what reason? So that's why I say that's one of the biggest grudges we're seeing right now, especially in politics right now. What they say, tax the rich. And I'd be like, all right, let the rich get taxed.
You're gonna be sitting outside.
You're gonna go sit outside. They're gonna do them employee tax cuts, cut your hours. Like y'all understand the equivalent exchange that goes on with that. Tax the rich, cool. We gonna cut your paycheck and your hours down.
Right.
Leave us alone. Hey, you got more hours you can work. You can have more things you can put in. Because the thing about you should hate. I don't know. You should hate being at the bottom. That's just me. Like I'm too obsessed with like seeing how high I can really reach myself in this lifetime till I die. That's why it's kind of like I don't see myself being complacent. Whatever I got to do to get there, I'm gonna just do it. So I guess if there's any type of grudge on myself, it would be like failure. But then again, I'm not scared to fail because I always say this quote: "I'm rejection over regret." I accept that 100%.
All right. One thing I wanted to bring up, man, is this grudge on the opposite sex. Men hate women, women hate men so much that
those sex battles, bro.
That your kids inherit your grudges. You feel me? And they didn't even have the experiences to come to those conclusions themselves. Same thing with racism. You know what I'm saying? You got a grudge with another group of people, so you pass that energy down to your child and you keep that cycle going. Even though that child still may never experience the same intensity of the hatred that you gave them, because they don't have the experiences that you had. You know what I'm saying? But that relationship shit is real when people hold grudges so much. You'll have daughters being raised by their mothers to hate men, and men raise their sons to hate women. And what's going to happen is you're setting that person up for failure psychologically. It's like you want them to endure the same pain and failure that you felt.
Right.
Then some people on the flip side can be like, yo, I never got this shit right, so I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure my child don't share the same experiences I did.
Right.
And not just with relationships and gender, staying on parenting. Some people felt like if I had to struggle and suffer, then my child gonna struggle and suffer as well. It's like you got a grudge against your process so much, you hate your process so much that you're gonna put people through unnecessary processes for no reason. You know what I'm saying? When you got some people that's like, yo, I had it so good, I'm gonna give my child everything I never had. You know what I'm saying? So you got one that's directing a grudge towards, you know what I'm saying, poverty or whatever, and then another person hate the fact that they had to work so hard to get to where they at. So yeah, I ain't that one.
I mean, shoot, man. I feel like we touched a lot of bases when it comes to the grudges. I mean, unless you got something else you want to touch upon. Hold on, y'all, man. Hey, cameraman.
Yeah, what we looking at?
Hey, look, we got. Hey, press no buttons on there. Your job was easy. Your job was easy.
Man.
Hey, look.
Look, we got power. We good.
Hey, look, man. We got a cameraman back, man. Like I had to fire him a couple months ago. You got any questions over there, man? Anything you want to feed to us?
I'm good.
Are you good? All right.
We're going.
All right. So that's gonna be the end of the show.
Yeah, make sure y'all tap into the YouTube channel, Talking That Talk Official Podcast. Shouts out to everybody that tuned into the live on IG. Of course, we're going to do rebuttals right after the episode. We out.
Peace.
Come close in the brown, they'll take your car.